So at what point did you show like any interest in acting? Like, was that something that you ever even thought about prior to the movie?
Not at all. So the director lived in Echo Park. She had lived here for I don't know how many years, but she's not from the area, but she lived here, raised her daughters here, and she used to either walk up the avenue or take the bus, get off the bus where we would hang out because that was also the bus stop. So her and my mom would get off the same bus. She would have conversations with my mom about wanting to film movies about girls and gang, and she's like, I want to approach them and ask them, but they're scary. And my mom's like, well, what if it was my daughter? And that was the connection. I didn't think of acting. It was because of her. She pulled us, she got a lot of us in to do little parts here and there, be in the, background of the movies. And I had a role, and because I was getting high all the time, I would show up high to the set. So I'm like, yeah, I can't do this. So it was just keep me in the background, keep me as an extra, and we still had to do our lines and rehearse and stuff like that.
Right, and we're talking about Allison Anders, right? And
Yes.
she was just a director and writer at the time.
Yeah.
And so then she was taking the bus with your mom and was saying that she was interested in writing a movie about this particular culture and lifestyle.
Yes. She had two what I believe what caught her attention is she had two neighbors by where she lived. They were young girls and they were both pregnant by the same guy. So she wanted to use that story, and it's true, it does happen. I'm married to my older homeboy who has a child with an older homegirl. And then, but she that part caught her attention with the two young girls that lived by her house. And then of course the hanging out in the corner, everything that you see was our life, our story. Like stuff like that really did happen.
Right. So then, because like you became kind of like a consultant on the movie, right? Like you helped give some of your stories and other people's stories.
Yes, she gave everybody the opportunity, and I think that's what kept it so authentic. She would when she had approached and told us about it, I was like, what does she know? What is she gonna write, and what does she know about the lifestyle? And I can't remember what I think maybe American Me was out, or like we had already Blood In, Blood Out, and other movies, and we're like, didn't want it to be we didn't want it to be corny. A lot of my homeboys didn't want to come out in it because, they didn't want it to be um, not just because the neighborhood was being used and the name, but they didn't want it to be like a lame ass movie.
Right, right.
So she gave everybody the opportunity to be an extra. She gave everybody the opportunity to share stories with her and your life. And she, would hang out with us, talk with us, and especially the girls. Um, we were involved with clothing, the music, the wording, things we would say when she finished the script. She had us all review it and look at it, and whatever changes we made, she implemented them. Some of it, Hollywood, because it had to be. And that was fine. But a lot of people always talk about the authenticity of it, and I think because she really took us in value and heard what we had to say is what made that movie feel so real.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like it's almost like if we're going to do this, it really has to be our story. Like we really have to control the narrative of this, right?
Yes.
So what was it like? Because it was kind of like, okay, so here's this white lady that is not even from here. She's from what, Kentucky or Ohio or something, right?
Somewhere, yeah.
Right, right, right. And so she wants to do our story, and you're being approached like that. Like, what is your reaction when you receive that?
I didn't believe her, and I'm like, okay. But when she would come around us, watch how we did our hair, put our makeup, and um, then she kind of stood away for a while and comes back like with the script for us to all read. We're like, oh shit, she was real. She wasn't bullshitting us.
And you guys did so much for that, right? You were almost like a part of every single aspect of the movie. Were you
Yes.
guys like really compensated for that, or there wasn't really that much of a budget for that movie?
So like my homeboys, once they found out they were gonna get paid as extras, they were like, okay, we're in. Um it was easy money, stand around the background, do what we always do, smoke and drink.
Right, right.
And then some of us were also given contracts. So I had a contract. A lot of us were given the girls were given contract and the guys were extras. So we were very much compensated. Yeah, definitely. Even just to keep the clothing, whatever we got to keep if we were able to, you know.